welcome to Community Distance Reiki. I hope you're doing well. Go ahead and take a moment to like the stream if you're in and you're able. And of course, as always, if you have any healing requests at all, go ahead and pop them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to reflect them in the crystal grid. I've actually started off the crystal grid already with a very special full moon in Virgo setup. I picked some stones. Ooh, this might be a little rough. Hang on. That probably makes things a lot easier to hear. Yes, so welcome in. Happy new moon in Virgo. And I have started off the crystal grid today with some really special crystals that are absolutely perfect for the planets in play, for the vibe of the next 2 weeks. And I even just recorded a special full moon ceremony for the first time. I'm going to be uploading that later on this evening, so you can watch that at your leisure. Included in that is the different astrology at play, as well as how to make the best of it, some journal prompts and things, a small mini healing, and this lovely crystal grid. So glad you all are here. Happy full moon. It's full moon Friday. It's a little wild. But yeah, glad to see you. Sorry, I did miss yesterday morning. I overslept, of all weird things. I woke up and it was like almost 11 o'clock. I don't know what the deal was with that, but I must have needed it. Yes, healing for empaths, you got it. Just, I don't know if you heard, but I actually started off our crystal grid with some stones that are perfect for this full moon energy. So I will add some empath stuff in there for sure. Let's see. Hope you're doing well. Let's add a little background music. Here we go. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, lots of intense energy in the air. I think empath stones are definitely a good idea. I already do have out some blue kyanite, which is like, yes, very helpful for that. Aha. Oh, Morgan, I totally got you. I already put some of that in, but I may add some more. I think that's a wonderful, a really wonderful thing to focus on this particular full moon. Let's see. Definitely like letting go of our own harshest critic and things. I've got some mahogany obsidian for that. But I will see about adding some more for sure. Let's see, some good empath stuff. Yes, let's do some smoky quartz. Definitely some moonstone. You got the job! Yeah, my body was telling me I needed it. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. I am so happy for you. Yeah. Yay! Oh, good to see you in too. Welcome in. Thank you all so much for the support and for being here. Let's see. Copper again, you got it. Here we go. In gravel, there could be. It depends on what the gravel actually is. When I was little, my parents had they had set up we had an unlevel lot because our home was built during the Depression. So there were just pieces of grass that were really awkward to cut. Like you'd have to lift the lawnmower up onto a terrace, and it was weird. So they put down heavy plastic and quartz gravel, and it was just quartz crystal. And I used to go and grab a bunch and bring them in and sneak them in because I was a weird little hippie even then. So it depends on the gravel, and oftentimes, yes. I mean, I think it's like 70% of the Earth's crust is one or another kind of quartz. So there probably is, but it kind of depends on the gravel itself. I hope that helps. Okay. Just seeing if there's anybody else I want to throw in here. Some aventurine. That's good for seeing ourselves as bigger than we thought we could be, and it really helps with the way we see ourselves. I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera over. So here's the grid so far. I will explain everything that's here before we get started, I promise. Let's see. Yeah, there you can see it a little bit better. I added a couple extra pieces of mahogany obsidian. Let's see. Awesome. Wonderful. So welcome. I'm just going to go ahead and turn this down. So welcome in. Happy full moon in Virgo. If you haven't already, if you can, depending on how you're set up, if you could like the stream, that would super help me with people being able to find me. Thank you so, so much for being here. I super appreciate all of your support. Happy to announce we're almost at 50 subscribers already. I don't know how that happened, but yay! Thank you, everybody. Just so thrilled to be here on the full moon. So yeah, this full moon is some seriously intense energy, and so I actually recorded today the full moon in Virgo, basically like ritual for all of you so that you could do it at your own time and your own leisure. I'm going to be uploading it later today. It just has the starting, the foundation of today's grid before I added your individualized stones to it. And I explained a little bit about how to make the most of the current astrology, what's involved, what to expect, and how to kind of support yourself through it a little bit, including some healing at the end. So it's there for you to enjoy that healing over the next 2 weeks anytime you feel like it might spur you on. So it will be up later today. So glad you're here. So let's get into the healing. Let me make sure everything is set. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so as per usual, I'm going to go ahead and connect to Usui Reiki. Usui is actually the name of a gentleman who created this particular style or methodology of connecting with this energy. But the energy itself is timeless, goes back to way before we even had probably words to describe what this was. Essentially, Reiki, or spiritually guided life energy, is already a part of you. It's already a part of everything around us. We're all interconnected. Uh, we're all working with the same basic energies of the universe, and our body, mind, and spirit are very familiar with the spiritually guided energy. Uh, so much so that our body, mind, and spirit already know what to do when there's more of that energy connected to us. And so, with this technique, what I'll be doing is calling on the energy, requesting that our individual energy fields be kept separate and protected, and simply direct more of that healing energy to all of you. I invite you to go ahead and lie down, sit up, close your eyes, stretch, move, bend, take a nap, whatever feels like the right way to spend this time, whatever feels like it's just what your body needs right now, it's just what your body needs right now. As I send, you can go ahead and journal if you feel like you want to. You don't have to focus on anything. You don't have to keep a silent mind. Although if you do come up with any ideas and you think, I really want to focus on X, Y, or Z, go ahead and just bring that to mind, take a deep breath, and let that go to the universe. The Reiki will absolutely support it. And as I send this healing today, if you notice any particular intuition coming through, any particular big feelings bubbling up, full moon energy can take where we're at and almost turn it up a little bit in the volume dial. So don't be surprised if you get particular intuition popping through, or just an abundance of the feelings that you've already been sort of dealing with or processing up until now. They may get a little more pronounced. So without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and explain the crystals in the crystal grid today, the ones that I selected specifically for this full moon, and the ones that I selected in support of your requests. And thank you so much for your requests in chat. I super appreciate it. So right here in the middle, we have a quartz cluster. Specifically, this is often called iron quartz or fire quartz. It's actually clear quartz that was very close to iron in the soil when it was formed, and so it actually took on some of that rust red in it. This quartz cluster helps to take the energy of this grid and send it up in all the directions it needs to go in. The Moonstone is excellent for empaths, for intuition, and because it's a full moon, it helps us make the most of that lunar energy and helps to bring that balance within us, but excellent for intuition and just as for anyone who's empathic. I also have this blue kyanite because it is definitely in support of what Morgan had requested for empath stones, but it's also excellent for, or rather for Morgan, for wanting to get past your ideas about who you are and seeing a new vision of who you can be. This is definitely a big deal with this particular full moon. This full moon in Virgo, with all of the like Mars Uranus energy and things like that, this full moon is definitely challenging us to take all of the dreaming we've been doing over the past year or two of not being able to build much and actually start to wake up from the dream and start with some concrete action. And so a big part of that is getting out of our own way. And yeah, blue kyanite is excellent for seeing us as the exact person we are authentically and taking pride in that. Additionally, it's great for making the most of intuition that you get and making sense of it. For mahogany obsidian, this is excellent for when we are so worried about everything being perfect that we kind of get stuck in place. It's also great when we feel that we're not good enough in general. Mahogany obsidian can be wonderful for that. So I actually added a little bit more of it. We have copper by request, which helps basically intensify and clear our energetic pathways when we're doing energy work. I love working with. Now that you have requested it, and I love working with it a lot now, I have some petrified wood. This is an excellent stone for working with any time that we have to change form. It started out as wood, and it transitioned into being stone. And in that, it had to give up what it was to become what it is. And it basically holds a space for us to do that exact thing interpersonally and within ourselves. So it helps us in those times of big transition. We also have Pneumite, which is so fun. It's like 4 billion years old. It's a super awesome stone. It's only mined in like Greenland a couple of months of the year because, you know, everything's frozen most of the year. But this stone helps us to go into the darker recesses of exactly who we are and asking ourselves those questions of what's in there, helping to see what might be holding us back. And then as we do that shadow work, these beautiful, like, vibrant white speckles that kind of glow in the camera light, that's actually labradorescence. It's not labradorite, but it's the same type of reflection that labradorite would have. And it's thought that these white spots that seemingly glow out of darkness are doing exactly that. It's the energy of bursting forth with like illumination and ideas and intuition and things like that as we work through our own darkness. So I love working with Pneumite. Polychrome jasper is excellent for renewing our passion for our soul's purpose and getting some motivation as we move forward. Tiger eye is fantastic for discernment. This particular full moon is also an excellent empath stone, but this is great for discernment in general. And when I say discernment, this particular energy of this full moon is all about it's really all about this. I need to go deep. I need to really search within, and I need to transform and move forward. And, you know, I have to base things on logic to do that. And then the other part of us that's like, oh, but this is hard. I'd rather not. I'd rather just think happy thoughts over here. And tending to be a little prone to distraction. So this will help us with that discernment, with, you know, logically looking at all the different pieces and making choices and feeling protected and safe while we do it. And last and certainly not least here is indigo gabbro. Also goes by mystic merlinite. This is a fascinating stone. It's like purpley blue and black. This stone is like deep shadow work stone. It helps us to go to that part of ourselves that, you know, we hide from ourselves. I usually summarize it as helping us to see our detrimental tendencies. So all the things that we do that tend to be self-sabotaging that we may not be aware of, because oftentimes we're not aware of those things. Indigo gabbro brings them to light so that we can work with them, heal them, and move forward from them. And additionally, we do have some green aventurine. This also helps with seeing a new version of ourselves, seeing our potential as greater than our limiting ideas up to this point. So I hope that this crystal grid is supportive of you today. Thank you all so much for making your requests. Thank you all so much for being here. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the concept of communal chi. A big part of what helps community distance Reiki be what it is the concept that the more people come together with the same or similar intention, the greater that energy potential is magnified. And so just by being here with an intention to work on yourself, even though our energy fields are kept separate yet protected, that actually helps positively impact everyone who's here, whether they're here right now live or if you're watching this on the replay. Hello from the past, if you are. But yeah, the more we come together, the more we have a shared intention, the more energy potential of that type is available. So the more healing energy is available to all of us today because you're here. Coming together and putting this crystal grid based on all of our intentions helps even solidify that so much more. So go ahead and during our session, for those of you who are just joining us, go ahead and relax. Lay down, sit up. You can close your eyes. You don't have to focus on anything and you don't have to silence your mind. You can just be. If you do feel like you want to move around, get something, stretch, move, bend, this is your time to do with it as you wish. And I hope that you find it abundantly healing and supportive of any intentions you have. Feel free at any point to take any intentions that are coming up, breathe them up, and just think about them, and then exhale and let them go to the universe, and the Reiki will support it. I will go ahead and simply send Reiki to all of you, wherever you happen to be in the world or in space and time, if you're watching this in the future. And as I send, you're invited to just simply notice how this healing shows up for you. In half an hour, you'll hear my voice come back in, and I'll invite you to take a deep breath in and out, slowly come back to your body, and then I'll invite you to ask any questions you might have. I'll be more than happy to hang out and answer those questions if you like. There's all kinds of information about me, my online Reiki classes, at Crystal Shop, the free community Discord, social media, if you'd like to contribute, all that stuff if you look in the description. And as always, I'm here doing this live 5 times a week. So same days and times, I'm here every Friday at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern time. So yeah, thanks again for being here. Go ahead, get comfy. I'm gonna bring in my focus to send healing to all of you and turn up some background music. I hope you have a beautiful session, and I'll see you in about 30 minutes. I invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. Slowly begin to come back to your body. Thank you so much for coming out today, for taking part in this group healing. It's an honor and a privilege as always. If you have any questions at all, feel free to go ahead and enter them in the chat. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you for the opportunity to be of service. And yes, Brian, all of the community distance Reiki is on YouTube now, this same link, or the same channel. You can subscribe to with notifications on if you want YouTube to notify you when I go live. And I will be here at 8 tonight as well. Every Friday will be at 4 and at 8. And then I'll be back on Sunday at 8 p.m. So same schedule, everything here. And later on this evening, oh, you're so welcome. Later on this evening, I'll be posting a full moon ritual for all of you to go ahead and do at your leisure for the full moon. Yeah, this full moon in Virgo. Thank you all so much for coming out for making the jump over from Zoom to YouTube. It's a big jump, and I'm so grateful to make the jump and to have all of you encouraging me on. Deeply appreciate it, and thank you all so much for being here. You're so welcome, Morgan. April's calendar is posted in the meetup. I don't know if I've posted it. Don't know if I've posted it in the Instagram or on the website yet. Yeah, YouTube is more stable and better picture quality, better audio quality. I can stream music and have 2 cameras. It's a lot easier if you're on the go. Yeah, absolutely. And you can watch the older ones. Like you can go back and sit through community distance Reiki that you were in. Oh, cool. I'm glad. Yeah, that's the other thing too, is that you can set it to remind you when I'm live. Yeah, there's a lot of upgrades to moving it over to YouTube for sure. Thank you for hopping over. But yeah, it'll always be the same 5 times each week, and then I'll just add additional to that. So every Friday at 4 and 8. It's in the description, actually, if you want to copy paste it from there. Every Friday at 4 and 8. Every Sunday at 8. That's all p.m. Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Thursdays at 8 a.m. Except for this week because I overslept. Sorry. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will be back at 8 o'clock this evening, Eastern U.S. time, East Coast U.S. time, so GMT -4. We just did our spring ahead thing, so we're GMT -4 on the East Coast right now. Yeah, so I'll be back in about 3 hours, because I know that makes a big difference for folks in Europe and folks in South Korea and stuff too that pop in. I'm so glad you all are here, and thank you Blair for bringing the good news of your job. Thank you all so much. An honor and a pleasure as always. So if you have any more questions, go ahead and pop them in the chat. If you're watching this in the future, hello from the past. I hope you're doing well. You can go ahead and put any questions in the comments or follow any of my socials. Check out my website, online Reiki trainings with me as well. You can check all of that information in the description. And yeah, so honored to be here. If you have any questions, go ahead, enter them in the chat. It'll turn into comments. I'll be more than happy to answer those while I'm still here. And I will be back in just a couple of hours. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful full moon. And I will be posting that video later this evening. Take care, be well, take care of yourselves.